All right, we're gonna call to order a select board meeting for Tuesday, January 27th. The meeting's being recorded. Um, First item on the agenda, DPW superintendent update. Derek's gonna come in next Monday. He's a little tired, did a lot of plowing. Next item, review town-owned property for disposal consideration. So yeah, this is something I was looking at the GIS maps and noticed that the town has a bunch of pieces of property that aren't on the tax rolls. There's a couple, few of them that I don't think we're using. I think we're still gonna need to go to Derek and they're gonna need to go to the assessors for their opinion and um, any other residents who may have some familiarity with it. Uh, what we have is on South Beach, there's one, I already printed these out. So where South Beach and Richard Road meets, Richard Road's deferred maintenance, there's two lots right there. One of them is One of them's 12 acres, one of them's 5 acres. Um, there's a couple of small parcels that are under an acre, which I don't know that'll have any value. It's weird how these things just kind of got left hanging.
How did we obtain them? Is it tax taking or something?
I think so. I wasn't around for any of them. I mean, there's a lot of properties if you saw on the spreadsheet.
I was looking at it. Yeah, there's one that was like 100 and something acres or something.
That's one on Beach Hill. It's right over by the Lieberman property. Um, it comes down to like I want Derek to look at them and say what will it cost to get the road up to snuff if we have to extend the road or if the road was deferred.
So that's a nice little turnoff that was kept open, right where that is,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, some of these I don't know that anybody will have any value for, but there was like a few of them. These are the ones that printed the maps up for it. I don't think we're gonna make any decisions tonight. I just want to start the conversation about um what to do with them because they're just sitting around.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. 0.7 acre, it doesn't even make a building lot.
No, it doesn't. But whoever's the adjoiner, the abutter may want it.
Yeah,
If we put it on the list. There's one that didn't make it on the list, which was the top of Sandisfield Road at the corner of New Hartford and Silverbrook. That one it's a buildable lot. Where Charlie Pease had Gary Pease had his chipper set up when ice storm came through.
yep.
Yep. That's the only time I've ever seen us use that piece of property for anything, but like I said, it's worth the conversation.
Oh, that's just up around the corner from. Straight up, let's see, looking up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of them are really huge. Like you say, it couldn't have, I don't know if they could have been tax statements because they're under the building lot, or maybe they were.
Yeah, we got out one
Yeah, it's a silly one.
there.
Yeah, 'cause there's a couple on here, it's like 0.8, 0.22. That's the one on West Street, but that's another one of the turnarounds, like you were saying. And then I think Derek also had to say it on the ones.
I mean, that piece, I don't really know, but
It's across from Steve Harrisiko's house.
I mean, is there enough room? It's 5 acres.
Yeah,
It's a lot of riverfront.
right? It seems like it'd be valuable to somebody.
Can't imagine anybody would build a house there, but
Might be, it'll flood.
probably, I would think.
Good spot set up for tent for fishing.
Richard,
Yeah, and those are actually decent sized lots. There's one's 12 and a quarter, one's 5 acres. And if you're only really talking about extending South Beach, well, off of South Beach a little ways to hit those two.
so do you think you just want to get them off of our books and onto somebody else's, so Books and taxes.
I think so. I think we could put them on the ATM for disposal, get authorization from the town and just auction them off. They really serve no purpose unless Derek says, hey, I want to keep what you say, this turnaround, that turnaround.
Yeah, and this one's got value.
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Even,
Years ago, Towers, had a bunch of land, and they actually gave it to a realtor.
Mhm.
And the problem with the auction is, they did the auction, do you remember they had it in town?
No.
We had it in town probably 15 years ago.
Yep.
The problem with that, it was stuff came in dirt cheap.
Yep.
Because, not many people were involved, and you might get better luck with a realtor because you'll get more advertisement and things like that, but there was a piece right over here by Ezekil's house.
Yep.
Next to Behan property. And it was 5 acres and that would for $5,000.
Got it.
And that would have been a building lot.
Sure. Sure.
You might want to talk to them or see what other people have done, because otherwise it goes for dirt cheap. And the ones that are near properties, I know that O'Rourke has that piece in front of his.
Mhm.
I mean, he always wanted it because they would have given him more road frontage. I'm sure there's a lot of other people that are in that same boat.
Yeah, I think with a realtor, as long as you're taking the bids, right? Because we can't just sell to one person directly. As a town, I think it has to be, I don't know, I think we're gonna have to find out the legality of it. Did they?
But yeah,
I'll reach out to Steve and see how they did that.
it's mistaken, but I thought they did it because I was looking at it and it seemed like the other way. Yeah, see.
Mary, do you know when they did that? How long ago?
That's the one, I was the one, I had the guy who. Bought the 5,000, I was his realtor here. And he said, buy it for this price, and that's why I took, and that was like when I was doing real estate, so I said maybe 15 years ago.
Okay.
Long time.
And even if some of them went for a little bit less, I mean, then they're on the tax roll again. It's just, I don't want the town to lose any money on the venture either, so.
No, so, there's a lot. Now, where did you get the list from?
The GIS maps, actually, the treasurer put together and with Lori's help.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because, when I got it, I went to the tax assessors.
Mhm.
And they can draw it up and just spit it out and just say, town, land owned by town of Sandisfield, and there was a big fit.
yeah, you can do that right on the website. So if you go to the assessors department,
Yeah.
maps and property cards. And type in, like you said, town of Sandisfield, it spits them up, spits them
They
all
can
up.
give you the.
Absolutely.
Make them do the work.
Well, I think they did help. I think Mira helped. Gina with it.
She pulled all the property record card.
Yeah,
Well, I think at this point, I would just, formally ask the assessors and then ask Derek what their take is on it. Ask town council if we have the ability to do some sort of actually, I'll start with Steve on that. I'll ask Steve to see it from Talon before we ask council, as which way they want about it. So spending money on it. Any other questions? Well, the one thing I did want to know, Gene, is we just need to add one to the list. This is one I found, wrote it on there. That's the one I was talking about that was at the top of Sandisfield Road at the corner of Silverbrook and New Hartford. All right, next up, fiscal year 27 budget review. So. You got the master budget out. Janie started it off with fiscal year 27 non-money articles. Adoption of chapter 40U, section 15. So that when we adopted the other part of this, it had to do with the Tobin property when we were going through that process to make sure the citations were tied to the property as a lien, but we didn't do it for building codes. Somehow, some way, our attorneys missed it. So if there's a building code violation, we want to make sure that those citations also can be attached to the properties as liens to give them some teeth. That was the intent initially, and we thought that chapter and section did cover it, but it didn't. So,
Right, it only covers charges, so if we were charging for water or sewer or something, then we can put that against the lien if there was a delinquency, but. Yeah, it doesn't do anything to fines or violations or anything like that.
which is the other reason we need to put the attorney bid back out. People get paid too much to be making these mistakes.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Adoption of chapter 268, section 35, and it's just a measure that legally protects the town seal from unauthorized use. It's a real boilerplate issue. And then add 911 signage revolving account. Um,
So
this-
that was just something that, Amanda, cause she's our 911 coordinator, had requested that we do, so this is something that they do in Monterey. So it just allows us to sell, those 911 signs, um. And then it just, and it's a complete wash, because you spend however much you spend on the sign and how to make it, and then they just pay that, whatever that price is.
That would only add to this list of disposal of town land. This is a placement for now. Fiscal year 27 special articles. You guys want to get into the big ones first, or you want to do some of the other budgets? Just do them right in a row.
Do them right in a row. My only thing is I'm out at 7.
That's fine. There's no deadline on these.
Okay.
We can cut it at 5 minutes early.
Put more fun salaries.
Fiscal year 27 special articles. Right?
Just trying to find
I
it.
got salaries.
Well, the salaries line is just so that you guys can just see those. It's not really something to discuss.
I got you.
Yeah. It takes all of the information that's.
So on the full budget, it'd be towards the end, right? The articles.
That's in between, see?
Oh, got it. I must have the older version.
Yeah, I got the good stuff there.
I just sent one, like, right before the, can you go to your email? So maybe
Okay.
you're looking at the older version.
That's the one I'm on.
That's what I'm here. There we go. So yeah, salaries is next. Do we have any concerns with any of these? I think Bob gets paid too much.
I mean, like I said, all of these salaries are pulled directly. It's just so. I just wanted to isolate them just so you could see them all in one, but I'd recommend that we just go through each department first.
Okay. I do. So we got the special articles. I mean, that's the next line if we want to do them in series. Right?
I have a PDF version of this. I'm not sure where to find
Yeah,
it.
sorry, yours is
Oh,
all,
right there, special articles.
Yeah.
I can share the screen though, right?
yeah, you could share.
Just click that, sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So,
And you just, yeah, click that.
so you'd rather review whatever the ask was inside the individual budgets by department.
Yeah, I think that would be the easiest way to do it. I mean, if you wanted to go line by line in the FY 27 budget, we could, but I think it'd be easier because
Yeah.
then you can see if anybody had a narrative or a breakdown.
Got it. All right, so yeah, moderator, that one's pretty straightforward. We got select board. I'd asked about the expenses. Did you have a chance to look at that? If this year was just an outlier?
You know,
Oh, Carl's got his hand up.
Okay. Yeah, Carl?
Yeah, Steve, I just wanted to say one thing. When you were talking about salaries, I'm assuming that includes stipends for boards and committee members, and something I wanted to suggest there. I think we should add some kind of policy that says people only get paid stipends if they participate in, I don't know, 80%, 90% of the meetings, either by Zoom or in person, because it's come to my attention that there's people on some committees getting stipends that don't show up for any of the meetings or participate by Zoom.
Yeah, thank you, Carl.
Yep.
Is that a us change or a televote change?
I don't know. I don't know. It depends. I mean, if you're an elected official, then the select board doesn't really have any oversight. It's really up to the people to deal with.
Yeah,
Um,
these are, I'm talking about just the committees that are under the select board, Steve. I think that's something you guys could do by policy. I'd prefer that this be addressed before the ATM, so when we get to this item, I don't have to raise the issue at the STM, but I just think it's crazy that people get paid stipends when they don't show up to any of the committee meetings or participate by Zoom.
Got it. Thank you, Carl.
Yep.
Um, select board, so Janie's gonna look into the expenses. We ran through it pretty quick this year, but I think this year's an outlier. So that's pretty straightforward. Town manager. So the only increases per COLA.
Right, so. Yeah, so mine is contractual, and then I would like. Lori at least receive the COLA as well. She's been doing a great job, and I think with the inflation in the world and everything, it's definitely well deserved at the very least. So I did write, so it's not in the budget line, but it is in her little breakdown of what that number would be.
Good.
There's inflation.
No. I made it up.
Notice.
Yeah. It's not like you can only go to the grocery store for like $300 at a time.
Can I ask something of the COLAs?
Yeah,
The COLAs are supposed to be connected to the
Social
cost of
Security.
living.
Yeah.
We got an email, Janie, you gave us an email, and she's also attaching it to performance.
I don't think that was the intent. The intent was just to say. So, I'll let you speak for yourself, or you want me to?
No, you can.
So every behind it, right? People should ask for what they want to get. It should be based on what you're making. So if you're making $5 more an hour than everybody else that does your particular job, you may not deserve a COLA because you're already making more than what the rate is. That's just one example, but I'd like to see just have it fair amongst everybody. Department heads can make that request based on what people make.
I mean, traditionally, like our secretaries out in the nowhere land of the Old Town Hall, they're very low compared to other towns.
Well, then I said 3% COLA would be justified in those cases.
Yeah.
Can we hold that? Can we put stipulations on a COLA?
Yeah, we're not entitled to give a COLA.
Or
Yeah, we're not required to.
either way,
Yeah.
If you don't get a COLA, you're actually getting a decrease in pay because the economy has gone up so far and now you're going backwards. It's actually a decrease.
For certain positions, definitely, but there may be positions that we have that are overpaid for what their current jobs are. Potentially,
inflation.
it would be.
What inflation?
Just curious.
Yeah, but it wasn't performance based. That wasn't the intent.
Oh, she was the her. The letter, she were her. She said,
Yeah.
the her.
Finance committee, any concerns? They're pretty vanilla on these things. It seems like they're not using their stipend, or they're not using the clerk. They're not using the clerk. Done some of the stipend.
You're looking at finance.
Yeah,
Yeah, they never use their expense line and they never use a clerk. They only meet very limited and they use that AI function. They actually can because they only meet Zoom.
sure. Next one says, damn it, Steve. That's like 5 cents.
Damn it, Steve.
Damn it, Steve. All thumbs are weird. That's what, yeah.
Bob, are you not able to follow on?
A little
You're
bit.
sharing your screen.
Yeah, but it's not very, I mean, he's going like by tabs and I don't have those tabs to. Right, it goes right to the master budget.
Gosh, is it? Did it?
All right, there's the moderator. Okay, so I just have to find.
They keep going up to see
Select
the
over.
assessors.
Town manager. Finance. Assessor's got it.
There's no major changes here other than they're asking for the. I did it again. 15,000
And where's that 15,000 originating from?
shut out.
Oh,
Yeah.
for the principal assessor.
Yeah, for the principal assessors. Which I believe they're searching for an office manager.
Right.
Is that where we're at now?
So I think that those terms could be like interchangeable.
So they've been having a hard time filling that, right?
Right, and so, my note there is that we did approve the 30,000 at the FY 26 ATM. So those funds would roll over. So I don't think we need to appropriate anything, because we still have the 30,000 that we can use.
Good. So that can be rolled over. It's not just gonna fall in free cash.
Right. I mean, we'll have to roll it over, but that happens. You know, when we go to close,
Any other questions?
No.
so technically we can zero.
Good. Zero it out. Treasurer tax collector. This one seems pretty straightforward too.
It's a pretty good jump up in budget though. From 112 to 114
So it's because of the audit.
to 138.
She said,
So we didn't budget for an audit last year because we audit every other year. So this will be an audit year.
which the only reason we only had one issue was that Margaret was gonna take care of. Has she made that correction yet?
I believe we're all set with everything. There was a little more than one issue, but they were all like very easily adjusted.
Great. Be nice to pass an audit, huh?
I think, I mean, for the most part, we did pass that audit because we fixed everything very quickly. But
It was way better than the
One.
investigation that was done previously. Good pass. Accountant. Level funded, no change.
I mean, right, so I did just ask everybody to send me the justification, and so all of these budgets are level funded right now, but I anticipate them all asking for at least the COLA.
Sure. Tech,
So I don't know if you remember, but last year we started the process for updating or upgrading our server. So this number is based off of what I had for last year, so this might change. This is not from John Shannon. This was me just basing it off of last year and doing some math. So we'll probably get a more firm number from him. I know he's actively working on all of the town's budgets right now. So this was sort of my best guess. But that will get us to a point where we can upgrade our server this year.
All right, town clerk. So he's. Clerk's office has an increase. Looks like they have some more elections.
Yep, and you can see that Amanda was the one who submitted this, so she kind of switched around the salary versus the clerk. Just because she anticipates doing more hours as clerk because Douglas is up this year, so. But then she wants to hire an assistant.
Yeah, I have to say, she does a good job on the reports, and she does a good job on the time cards, listing out what her responsibilities are. I like that she's thorough.
We have talk on
I need a little push every once in a while. Less in the weeds. Concom. We got 3% increase.
Looks like it's level funded with a slight difference for expense.
Yeah. Oh, let's see what we pay. Which one's this? Planning. Just about level.
And the Berkshire Regional Planning Commission sets their number, that's just what it is.
At 0.5%, yep, no, they're good. That's good. We're cooking right through this, almost done. Budgets are easy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Not like we're gonna visit every one of these every week for the next 6 months.
Right. Zoning board, it's level, no members. Zoning board of appeals. Do we have any members? I don't think we do.
Barbara's on.
Is she? Highway department's a big one. Want to dive in this one? Got. Yeah. Six and a half, 1.5%.
Yeah, he leveled. Everything except for salaries got the 3%.
Well, how do you like them apples?
Yeah, he's got to live with it for a full year to understand it anyhow. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No way I should do it. It's just need a mouse. The mouse is transfer station. One's true level.
Again, like I said, we leveled all the salaries, but I'm anticipating after my request was sent out that we're gonna get an increase for all of the salaries and compensation lines.
Sure. Cemetery. Level also.
Hmm.
Non-eventful. Police department.
Yeah, this one goes up.
All right. Police department.
So this is like the first one where we actually have some changes. So what I did here was I got rid of the police, and I talked to Brian about this too. But I got rid of the police chief stipend and instead put in a salary slash compensation, or whatever you want to call it, which would be for $50 an hour, 8 hours a week. And then I got rid of what he had budgeted for himself out of salaries, because he wanted 30,000 just for the sergeant, part-time slash overtime. So if Mary had overtime or something like that. PD expenses only went up slightly, and then the big ticket thing in here is that he is asking for a full-timer. Which on top of what that salary number is, would be an increase to our employee benefits line of around $22,000 is what I estimated last year. So potentially it's more this year.
Well, the more full-time employees, it goes up, but it goes up less steep, right?
I'm not really sure how that works.
So I think before we had a chief that was going to a lot of calls and getting a stipend just for being a chief. So if you take away the stipend, then you consider how much we were paying him to go to all the calls. If Chief Fahey's not going to all those calls, somebody needs to, right? I mean, I think that's his big ask is,
Yeah.
so if we don't have a part-timer and that, say that position's one full-time person, or maybe there's two part-timers.
And I sat in one of the meetings with him, and basically it's hard to find part-timers now. Every officer is full-time trained. So unless you're offering them a full-time job, most of them are not interested.
Is we can eliminate the part-time position. And that in turn, with what we were paying the previous chief for going to all those calls, would actually offset the new hire quite a bit. It's not a wash, but it would offset it quite a bit.
And while his particular line item looks like an increase, it's not, right? I mean, it's essentially flat from what he was making previous with salary and stipend.
Correct.
Yeah. So we'd have to explain that.
I think people getting paid for the hours they work is easier than, hey, you get a stipend just for being somebody, and then you get paid for every hour you work.
Right.
It's, I think this is just cleaner.
Yeah, I agree.
Any comments, questions, concerns?
No, I'm just reading his narrative. Reading. What is reading? They get a prize if they speak tonight. Get the kiss of bar
To some cheek.
That's it. Otherwise, it's HR. That makes total sense to me.
He actually says that the police department responded to 1,200 calls last year.
Yeah.
But 4 day.
Yeah. Pretty poor, right?
Three
Every
three
day,
and a half.
7 days a week.
Hey, Steve, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Why is there no money budgeted for Berkshire Sheriff Control? Did something change there? Cause it looks like the past years, we've always had money budgeted for Berkshire Sheriff Control, and there's none requested for fiscal year 27. What's up with that?
So from what I understand, the state took that over, so we are no longer responsible for paying for that for dispatch.
Okay, that's good by me.
They're doing it at no cost to us.
Yeah.
I do know the state took it over. Yeah. They're making a lot of changes. Okay.
Sweet. Any other questions, concerns?
You guys want to come sit on the couch so you can see?
Yeah, these are a couple of seats.
Okay, well, I just meant so you could see the
Oh.
screen a little bit.
Next time.
I was thinking about getting pizza next Monday. Whole tables.
I won't fight Jen.
Oh,
Some hors d'oeuvres.
yeah.
So the fire EMS is a bigger meeting. That one I want to do through the work session. I'm still waiting for more documents from the chief. Health and sanitation. What time we
At
get?
6:40, we still have POs and stuff to sign.
It's fine by me, so we'll cut it right at health and
We'll get
sanitation.
John out of here.
Almost made it, but maybe next time.
It's teamwork here. Bob's keeping me in line. Department board committee updates. Anybody? Town manager updates?
Unfortunately, we do still have a vacancy on the DPW. That one interview that I had scheduled for last week did cancel because they said that the travel was gonna be too much, which was as expected. I don't know if you remember, but they were from Avalon. So luckily we did hire that on-call person prior to the last storm, so we've had that on-call person available the last storm and this weekend's big storm. And they were able to do what I thought was a really good job handling that. I mean, it was coming down very fast. As of today, Amanda Leavenworth has resigned as the records access officer. So I have her resignation right here, if you guys want me to read it.
Yeah, that's shocking.
Right, so she did cite the volume and the nature of the records and then the subsequent time commitment that it required as the reason for her resignation. So in accordance with Mass General Law, the position does default to the town clerk. I did reach out to Douglas and we decided just because of his term expiration approaching in May. And the fact that the majority of the requests coming in surround the fire department, which she's now a member of. At least for the time being, I'll add the hat for myself. So we'll have to do that appointment next week just to make it official. So I'm continuing to fiddle with the budget. As I noted earlier, I just sent a request out on Friday, for justification for any salary increases, including the COLA increase. And I just want to make clear that I do support the COLAs and I completely understand their importance. I know there's been a lot of people frustrated with the fact that I asked. But we do have a responsibility to review the townwide pay scales and make sure that increases are applied fairly and sustainably. So just making that clear. Brief update on the fire station. So the town does officially own the building. The order of taking was officially recorded with the Registry of Deeds last Tuesday. SFDI was made aware of the taking the day of and was sent a notice of taking today. So the notice of taking will include what is called a pro tanto, which is basically just an acknowledgement of the taking, and a waiver, which is an acknowledgement that waives their right to sue the town for more damages. SFDI has the option to sign either, but their counsel did already reach out and confirm that they will not be signing the waiver, although they did note that no decision has been made one way or the other as to suit. So they're not saying they're going to, but they're reserving their right to do so.
Classic.
See that?
I almost.
So prior to the completion of the taking, the town did request SFDI provide a list and proof of ownership for any property that they would like to retain. And in the letter, it was noted that SFDI fundraised and purchased any and all equipment to benefit the Sandisfield Fire Department, and without proof of ownership, it would be considered property of the town. So SFDI conducted the site visit last Sunday that I believe Bob was in attendance for, to make a list of the items they'd like returned. And so I did receive that list this on Monday. However, the list did not include any proof of ownership of any of the items, which included the 2 storage containers, all the tables and chairs, and the rescue truck, among a lot of other like little things. So I'm gonna reach back out to them and just once again ask for the proof of ownership.
Steve, question for Janie?
Yeah.
Yeah, hang on. Barbara had her hand up first.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, Barbara.
Sorry, I have a couple questions on the fire department thing with the SFDI because I was there also on Sunday. Is there a limit of time before that they have to get the stuff out by? In other
Well,
words, is there going to be a limit? They can't get anything out after after yesterday or?
I don't think there is a limit. I think that, like Jamie said, they gotta prove ownership of the items they want to get, send it to our lawyer, whoever. Then we have to go through and make sure that it wasn't something reimbursed. I mean, there's still a little red tape with it.
Okay, because some of the request was absolutely ridiculous when I was there. I mean, and when I did mention to Chief, I said, don't they have to show a receipt? Ralph, loudly said, my lawyer said I don't need any receipts. So I doubt that that's truthful, but I mean, he was talking about even taking paper plates and cups and, I mean, just ridiculous. It was just ridiculous. So I just wanted to see what the timeline was, and to me, once we own the building, we should tell them to take a hike, but that's just me.
Thank you, Barbara.
You're welcome.
Carl?
Yeah, Steve, my question relates to the Route 8 firehouse, specifically the equipment and stuff inside that. Shouldn't we be looking at what's ours in Route 8 and taking that?
Yeah, I'm the chief's working on that. We have a couple army vehicles there too that we had our DPW super go and look at that we're gonna end up auctioning off too.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we were looking at the equipment and the stuff inside Route 8 and we were taking what was ours.
Yeah, from what I understand too, Carl, I believe that the majority of this stuff has already been taken out of that building.
Well, was stuff taken
Majority,
out
there
that
was
was
some stuff.
ours?
She's saying that the fire department took out most of what they
Oh,
wanted
okay.
to take.
All right, very good. Thank you.
We do have a lease on it through the end of the fiscal year, so I think the snowmobiles were there, but they're now at the other station. There's very little there.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Great, thank you, Jeannie.
Liability, you're supposed to, by knowing, like, by you guys knowing that they're legally living in those buildings, if something happened, somebody dies in CO2 poisoning, did we spoken to the attorneys about any liability, because we know those buildings are not properly for living quarters?
Yeah, there's nobody officially living in those buildings right now. They're per diems taking all sorts of shifts. There's volunteers. They're doing shifts.
No
But
one's sleeping.
as of right now, we don't have a bunk room policy. We haven't authorized anybody to live there. That's his intent, though.
Oh, I
And
know that.
we're working that out with the building inspector and we're checking all the avenues.
I thought it was-
I don't believe so. Select board agenda?
Well, I mean, it's a play on words.
Oh, it's like, putting the dot. Yeah, like the lawyer ones are cheap.
Well, so can you be in there for 24 hours as long as you don't sleep? Are you living there? Or
Are
you're just
Are
there?
there cops there?
I don't know.
It's an emergency shelter. There are cots there.
Yeah.
But I mean, did somebody move a dresser in and like make it their home?
Oh.
No, nothing like that's happened.
They
He's
put
always sleeping.
detectives. I know that was one of the things.
That's part of the process we're going through is making sure the building's safe.
Yeah.
But you're right, there are vehicles in the building. It is a garage.
Thought they were putting the CO2s up.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that might have happened this weekend or something.
I'm not.
I remember talking to Mike about,
I mean, we really couldn't do anything till just the other day.
right,
We didn't know
All right. Select board updates. So the perk test and septic design for 207. Lori's putting it out to bid. She's working on it right now to have people put bids together, civil engineers. For us to repair the septic. The work down at the old town hall went well with the furnace replacement. And Lori has out to bid the ceiling, the drop ceiling and the lights. All getting swapped out with LEDs, and it looks like the entire project's gonna fall under budget, which is really good. There's a bunch of electrical work we're gonna do, try to get some heating for the police office, which for some reason the ducts to the heat to the police department were cut at some point.
Oof.
Hmm.
So that's happy. So we have a solution, and I worked with Mary on it. So that's all I got.
Steve, On the 207 septic system, there was a big discussion at the Board of Health about it.
Mhm.
The bottom line is, the septic system that they're gonna make, they're gonna wait until they figure out how they're gonna use that building,
You have to design it by use. You can't design it.
by what it is
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, it has to be based on what we anticipate the use to be. And that'll line up with whatever this bunk room policy ends up saying for occupancy.
That was a big discussion, you know.
Yeah. I agree with that. Select board updates, anything for you, mister?
So as stated, I did go to the walkthrough of the firehouse last Sunday. It was largely uneventful. There was some tense moments here and there, but for the most part, everybody was respectful. I did go to a meeting this morning with Chris Collinaire, the Southern Berkshire Emergency Preparedness Group. The fire department has started doing the interfacility transfers, and it's very promising, honestly. I'm surprised. I'm surprised at the potential there.
Yep.
The basic numbers, if we go do a medical call from the nursing home to the hospital, it's $498. And for instance, the other night they did a transfer from Fairview Hospital to Timberland Heights. It's less than 2 miles away. It was $1,750 reimbursement. So like the amount of money that's available with these interfacilities is pretty impressive. They did 7 of them Sunday. So
Well, I think as long as we always have the primary ambulance there, then I'm on board with that. That's a good thing.
yep. So it's an exciting thing. We'll have to see how it all shapes up, but it looks like it could be a lucrative thing for us.
Yes.
I guess that's it for me.
Mr. Field?
Who would you like me to take the Christmas lights down?
Never.
I'd say never.
They were so mad, especially on the other end.
Yeah, we can leave them up.
They're not super Christmassy. I'd like up until it starts to get lighter out again.
You tell me when they gotta
Okay.
go.
Let's try Jean.
Yeah, the two look pretty good.
They're not super Christmassy, they're just pretty
Just
nice.
lights, yeah, that's all I got.
Future agenda items, nothing topics.
Oh, we actually do have one future agenda item, so next Monday we have to open the Silverbrook Town Hall moving bid. But that's it.
Hey, Steve, I have one question if I may.
Sure.
Bob mentioned they did 7 IFTs on Sunday. I just want to be sure that we're washing down the fire department vehicles, the underwash like we're doing now religiously in DPW. I want that new engine to last, and I just want to make sure that we're gonna take steps to do the underwashing in the winter to get the salt off the vehicles so they don't corrode.
I called Douglas earlier today about something unrelated to this, and he told me that he was actively washing the ambulance when he was there. So, like, I interrupted him washing it.
Yeah,
So I believe that it is happening.
I'm part of a group chat with pretty much all the fire members, and they're calling each other out for throwing away trash and whatever. But yeah, Douglas is up there constantly washing the ambulances. He calls them Amberghinis.
Yeah, that's what it sounds.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what it
But yeah, they are actively washing all of them. If you stop up there, they're all looking really good. Now, I don't know for sure that they're getting underneath and desalting from underneath, but from the top down, yeah, it looks great, and we can certainly add.
Well, that's what I was concerned about, was the underwash, and if they don't have the facilities to do that at Route 57, maybe they can coordinate with DPW where they can get them in those bays and underwash.
I agree.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right. You gonna vote to approve minutes of the meetings? Do we have any minutes this week? Where we have the POs.
Nothing, nobody wants to.
More of that's themselves.
Mm.
$500 worth of stamps. Automark electronic voting machine. This is a mandatory for town elections and they cannot provide estimates prior to creating the ballot setup. $663. Get the money in their balance. Oh, another Morton salt. We weren't done with them.
Yeah. Oh,
Look again.
Well, Derek did note to me the other day that come winter, like there was nothing left in the shed at the end of the season last year. So that's why there's so much salt.
Well, he said he's already addressed the usage, so
Right.
we'll see the difference in next year, hopefully.
motion.
Yeah, you motion to approve them.
There's two more over here.
Oh,
Yes.
I didn't sign him then. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Oh,
So do we have the money for this?
Let's see, he's got it. Everything in?
Oh, here was 19 grand and then dropped that from 39, right?
Which one's first?
This one, well,
Yeah, so that one went in, right?
it's a pretty big jump down.
Yeah, from 74 down to 39.
Just as a note, snow and ice is the only account you're allowed to legally deficit.
Sure.
Is that what you're looking at right now?
Yeah, just making sure that there's something in there. I mean, that both of these line items went down in these two POs, but this one.
I mean,
17,000.
just don't be surprised if we go over. I mean, last year we went over by, I think it was like 36 or $37,000.
I'm surprised.
Motion to approve PO 1778, 1672, 1661, 1777, 1779.
Second.
They recuse themselves from just this one.
Right, so let me.
I just don't want them to get in trouble.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, so motion to, I'm gonna rescind that. Motion to approve 1778. And then.
I recuse myself.
I recuse myself.
Yay.
I don't really get a vote, but sure.
That's how the policy works. It's up to you to be the tiebreaker.
Approve.
Yep. And motion,
Oh,
motion to approve 1672, 1777, 1779, and 1661.
Second.
All in favor?
Uh,
All right, that's the meeting, guys. Motion to adjourn.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
yeah.
Good night, everybody.